Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I hope
Good
you're all well. Good evening, James. I hope everybody's well. We have got a guest on tonight, as you all know. She's not here at the moment. You've got to bear in mind the time difference. It's sort of 6 o'clock in the morning or 6:30 in the morning over there at the minute. So, yeah, it's nice of her to say she'll come on. Actually,
Definitely.
Yeah, I know I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be waking up at 6:30 or 6 in the morning to get on someone's live.
We've had our bathroom done this week, and the builder's been coming at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock for me. I've been going. So 6 o'clock. She's amazing. She's amazing.
What's going on? Right, let's say some hellos. So we've got Peter the Monkey Thrifter. We've got PVP. We've got Leanne. How you doing?
Leanne.
We've got Santa. How you doing, Santa?
Oh.
Tam and Bell.
Tam and Bell.
Everyone's only waiting to see Mel and not bothered about us this week. Hi, Mum. Hope you're all right.
How we doing, Pat?
Everyone's saying hello to everybody. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Everyone's saying hello. Hi, Colin. Hope you're all right, mate.
Doing all right with the weather.
Colin's tuning in because, well, I've got 5 panels down in the fence. 5 panels down in the fence, 5 fence panels down in the garden. So my garden looks like I've been hit by a hurricane and I've ended up in the land of Oz.
My recycle bin slightly fell over. If that
counts. Oh, mine were all like. Have you ever seen the photo of all the photo booths in the telephone booths? I can't even speak properly. Telephone booths in Kingston upon Thames. They got a load of telephone.
Yeah, like dominoes,
like that. Yeah, that was how my bins were.
Mine's just a little small recycle box. So.
Right, so we've got Colin, UK reseller. Spoke to Colin this week, so he'll be happy to know that Mel's coming in because she does books. I think that's what he does.
Lovely.
So everyone's saying hello to everybody. We've got Chris Tyler in. How you doing, Chris?
Dave's just mentioned that I haven't got much of a tan being on my holiday. So for those that don't know,
Hollybobs.
I was away last week. Dave was covering me.
So
thank you very much, Dave. The baton is back.
The baton was passed back.
Definitely appreciated. I went to Bonnie, Scotland, and
did you see anyone?
James Tonks Boutique, who's in the chat this evening. Nice. Met up with him. I think he probably got there a bit earlier than me, but bumped into him about 7:30. Yep. Showed me free boot sales. Free. Nice. There's free running, like 40 minutes from each other. And you'll be glad to hear I got a grand total of
what did you buy?
Nothing. I got nothing. I went to free boot sales. Didn't spend a penny.
Oh no, didn't spend a penny. Not even a penny.
Yeah. Well, the fuel and
yeah. So we got Don in.
It was good. It's good to go. Chop. Busy work. Bang bang.
Chop. Busy work. Bang bang. We've got Porky's in.
Porky's in the house.
We've got Amanda in.
Hi, Amanda.
Smashing out the videos and the lives. Yes, smashing them out now.
She is.
Created a monster.
She had a catchphrase on the latest one. What was the catchphrase? What was the catchphrase on that one? It was to do with a character she had.
Smoking.
Yes, that was the one. The Mask. Yeah. Jim Carrey.
We've got Jamie in. How you doing, Jamie?
How you doing, Jamie?
We've got Mr. D in. How you doing, Mr. D?
Mr. D. Oh, well.
We've got Sean in as well. We've got Junie.
Sean. Junie's in the house. Junie. Sorry, I apologise. Tongue-tied. Tongue-twisted, tongue-tied. I've had a week off. You see. I'm just not. The professionalism's gone downhill. I've been to Scotland.
What professionalism?
I'm going to start singing Bell's Corner. I've been in Scotland now.
Hi, Emma. How you doing? Hope you're well. We've got Dave. She won't be awake. She was awoken in early hours by her son. That's fine, Dave. She said she'll be here at some stage. It's fine.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Fine. There's James. He's there now.
Good to see you.
We've got Dave the Gent in. We've got the Dave in. We've got loads of Daves in.
Dave.
Everyone's saying hello to everyone, which is lovely.
All these devs are in their early 20s, aren't they? These,
I know.
these youngsters.
We've got Claimer Gaming. Hope you're all right.
How are you doing, mate?
We've got Mr. ABL Reselling, my co-host of last week. Nice
Thank
to
you
see
so
you.
much, Dave.
Nice
to see you.
Made an effort, Rich.
Nice.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. Yeah, cheers. Nice, isn't it? Eh?
He missed me that much, you see, Dave.
He made a little face of you. Did you see it?
I did see it, yeah. And then he decided to put it on his chair next to him.
Good evening, folks.
And then I've been sent some videos with it next to his pillow.
Yeah, nice.
And it was like one of them Japanese full-size ones, you know, like they hug.
So we've got Sean in as well. Good evening, folks. For those not medicated to the point of not knowing what year it is, I hope you missed me. We did.
Definitely miss Sean.
Don, yeah. Martin's in. How you doing, Martin?
I do, Martin.
Say hello to Derek.
Hi, Derek.
Dave, we've got Ian in. How you doing, Ian?
Hi, Ian.
We've got Aaron in. How you doing, Aaron?
Thank you, Aaron.
Everyone's saying hello. So what else you been up to apart from no pickups in Scotland?
Well, I got no right. I got no. I did go to some charity shops and I got a couple of all right bits, to be fair. But you can't. But my friends I go to are kind of vegan vegetarians, and I had a meal at theirs, and I went, "What's this?" And they went, "It's haggis." They went, "It's haggis," and I went, "I was like, this tastes amazing," but I was like, "Really? A vegan haggis?" Long and short of it, tastes amazing. Haggis. I couldn't have gone to Scotland without it. There we are.
Jeez.
There you go. There you go. So if you want your vegan,
you're not vegetarian, are you?
I'm not, but it doesn't stop me from eating it if it tastes nice. So
yeah.
The thing is, I think where a lot of vegans or vegetarians or people go wrong in life, they go, doesn't taste like meat. It doesn't need to taste like meat. If it tastes nice, I'm having it. So
I've got the YouTuber formerly known as the Vinegar Jar,
Sir Pete. I imagine he wasn't in last week because I wasn't here.
Probably not. Yeah.
Yep. Just saying. Just saying.
Washing dried in 30 seconds. Downside, I had to pick it up 100 miles away. I know the feeling, Chris. I know the feeling. Everyone's saying hello, which is good.
Some people have done all right from the. Some people have done all right from the start.
Mel looks a lot like James tonight. Yeah, some people did. Some people didn't. Some people lost the roofs of their houses and stuff.
Some people have probably got hot tubs in the gardens that they didn't wake up to. They've probably got garden furniture in there, rattans that they didn't ask for. So, you know,
I know. Yeah, it's not. We didn't lose anything like that, but we just lost fence panels.
That's all right.
And my son said that he heard a massive crash in the loft early hours. So I got up on the roof in the wind again today, but it wasn't actually. There was nothing up there, so it was fine. Maybe just the wind got up and.
I think he was winding you up, mate. I think he was setting you up for a fall.
Definitely. Open setting me up, hoping I was going to fall. Yeah. Missing 5 fence panels, 1 greenhouse, top part of the shed went, and the satellite dish came crashing from the roof to the garden. Yeah. It's not good, is it?
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Listen, the thing is, I video called with James today.
We did. That's hilarious.
I'm not happy. I've got to say that I'm not happy, right? Because let me show you. Bearing in mind, I'm down south near the beach where it's supposed to be lovely and hot. He's up north where it's supposed to be dreary and horrible.
Grim. It's grim up north.
Just bear that in mind when I show you what I'm going to show you right now. And hopefully you'll be able to see it.
I'm going to make you bigger.
Bearing in mind, that little window down there with the rain and the winds blowing's me. And this is James's house, opposite James's house. So blue skies, no wind, no rain, and I'm in a typhoon. You can't.
And the trees are like blowing backwards on your screen, literally.
Let me show you. I'll make it big, just so you can see. how everything's flowing. So slight difference from that to that. That was James's view.
Beautiful, that son. Yeah. Beautiful, son.
I wasn't best pleased. I have to say, it wasn't my finest hour. Looking at the weather he had.
Well, the thing is that we're used to that, and the North won.
Well, yeah, it did today. It sure did today. We got won. Lee. How you doing, Lee?
Hello.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
We got Betty Bobbin. How you doing?
Hi, Betty Bob. That's a very nice name, Betty Bob.
That's a cool name.
I like a double B.
Aaron's saying let's not talk about fence panels. So obviously, I would say he's lost some.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so not
You should see my garden. I've got 20 in there. I'm selling them on Facebook at the moment.
We got Cherry in. How you doing, Cherry?
Hi, Cherry. Hope you're well.
Everyone's saying hello.
That's good.
We've got Nia in. Let's see. Said Jessica.
Yep, Jess is in the house.
Yep. Sean is saying, good evening, Tam and Bell. Looking forward to the debut at 10:15 of your Swiss channel. Now you've given up trying to speak English.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he is right. Their caption was the Swiss logo, which you see on the pocket penknives. Now, now, if I know them, let's have our guesses. Now, I don't think they're going to pick up a penknife, but I know the Swiss. I have sold rucksacks, laptop bags that have sold, and if I know Tam, and I know we know Tam, I reckon he's picked up a rucksack. I'm going with a rucksack.
Nice.
Yeah, rucksack or laptop bag. That's what I'm guessing. Nice. I'm probably wrong.
Cinema Music 55. I think that's Chris. I'm not too sure. They did say, but I think that's Chris.
Hi, Chris. If it's not Chris, hello, name.
Hello, and I'm sorry about getting your name wrong. That feeling when you get the shed roof felt flies off in the wind. Yeah, I had that with this summer house when it was windy a few years back, and lucky enough, I got it strapped down in the end. We've got Stu in.
Felton's an old way of doing a flat roof.
The modern way on here, I've got a pitched roof.
Yeah, the modern way of doing flat roofs is like, is it like tar? It's almost like a paint. Is like a better way of doing it now.
It's a bitumen paint. It's a tar paint.
Yeah, tar paint's the best.
Yeah, we've got Debs in. How you doing, Debs?
Hi, Debs. How bad's this, right? Right, and I've got to confess, and I'm sorry, Debs. I didn't have Debs added on Instagram.
Oh, that's outrageous.
I know. And also Mel. I didn't have Mel on my Instagram. I watch Mel's videos. What am I doing? My Instagram's rubbish. So if I haven't got you added on Instagram, message me because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm on Instagram now. YouTube's just on the back burner for me now. But every day I'm posting content and I'm liking Instagram.
He's an Instagrammer. As James mentioned, how he got on in prison, or is he still saying he went to Scotland?
Sean, that was confidential. That was extremely confidential, and I'd appreciate it. At the end of the day, I went up there and they found me innocent. So, you know.
I doubt they found you innocent.
No, I was innocent. I was innocent for stealing them fence panels. They ended up in my garden by accident.
Engelbert.
Engelbert? Humperdink. Humperdinkos.
Humperdink. I'm just trying to whiz through this because we have actually got a video from somebody else tonight. So
a video?
Yeah, we have. Yeah. Mr. Cola Flipper himself has done cocktail of the week. So in a sec.
Lee, absolute gentleman.
Yeah, well, as always.
What a gentleman. So they've been crying for it.
Yeah.
They've been crying for it, haven't they?
Yeah, I know.
I've got free boot sales. What you should do there, Derek, is you should message James because I've got no idea whereabouts I went. The best part was, right, we went to the first one that we got the information for, and then I said to James, he'll said, oh, I'll take you to the next one. And he said, oh, I've got a red car. So we were pulling out and we just followed this red car. I'm so grateful it was his car because it could have just been following someone to the other end of Scotland.
There you go. James is saying it was Stirling, Falkirk, and Blockhairn.
That's the one. That's where I went.
Got my sister Lee over for tea tonight, Rich. First time she's watched the show. She's terrified of clowns. Penny behind you. Oh, Pennywise won't hurt you.
Well, they've got us two on the biggest clowns in the world.
That's it. So. It's all clowns. Cherry Sand, I don't even notice Pennywise anymore. No, he's a bit of the furniture.
Nah, he's just there talking in the mic in the background.
Could have done with a new shed dropping by. We've got Haggis Lover in. Vegetarian haggis. No, just no on the vegetarian haggis.
Oh.
We've got Toby in. How you doing, Toby?
How are we doing?
I hope you're well.
But the thing is that it's nice tasting. I do agree. A haggis is amazing if you're going to have it properly. But as something to go in a dish that's a bit different with your potatoes, it does work. But each to their own. Each to their own. You know.
Yeah, I mean it's one of them, isn't it? It's like I didn't taste black pudding for years, and when I tasted it, I actually liked it.
Lovely black pudding.
Yeah.
When you're up here, mate, we'll be having plenty of that.
Ooh.
Holly loves it, right?
Sounds wrong.
Carolyn hates it. Hates black pudding. So it's funny. So, he's in. Hello. You.
Processors
Independent Trading Co.
Gonna have to go out and have a nice fry out with black pudding.
Ooh. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, well, black pudding and poached eggs on toast.
Oh really?
Oh, that's what we'll be doing. Oh, mate, we'll be going posh, proper posh.
Costa del Lancashire. We've got Jason in.
Jason's in the house.
Please don't touch buttons, James. You might end the stream.
Right. I did. But talking of Secret Carper, we've also got to say we appreciate you logging in this afternoon and giving us a hello because we know that you were the first person in the chat officially. We saw it. Don't think if you guys take the time in the afternoon to put a little message in the chat, we really appreciate it. We notice it. It might not be there now, but we see it.
We have the veranda files in. How you doing?
How are we doing?
Just trying to get through.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to start dropping secret messages mid-stream, and then when we do a quiz one time, I'll be like, "What message was sent at 2 o'clock?" Yeah.
Last questions. Right. So, any decent pickups other than Scotland, where you didn't pick anything up?
Yeah, I picked up the whole of Scotland.
Hi, Neil.
I went to the auction house on Tuesday. On the way back, I went to a charity shop, and if you've seen my Instagram, and if you haven't, well, tough luck. You're gonna have to go and have a look. I went in, as you do, is a male section. It was like Rohan on his clothes.
Hi, Tristan.
And I said to the manager, I went, I said, "Have you got any more of this?" I said, I didn't say I was a reseller. I was at this time. I just said, "Oh, it's really good walking stuff," as you do.
Yeah.
And then she says, "Yeah, I got a load of it. Got it all donated yesterday." I said, I'll have the lot off you. So I think she added it all up. It was 11 pieces, and she was going, "I'll do £4 per item." And then she said, "I want a little bit more for the jumpers." So I just said, "Look, should we call it £50 for the lot?" Nice. So I think it worked out 11 items of average of what's that, like £2.50, if that. Yeah. And then one of them's already sold for £40 in total.
Oh, nice.
Within 2 days of listing. So yeah, one more sale, then it's all profit. But
hi, John.
About £250, £300 potential profit just from a charity shop. You know, on the way back from the old auctions. Hi, John. By the way, John's almost finished the burpee challenge, and then he's messaged me. He's messaged me about some other challenge. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to do what Richard does. I'm going to watch. Definitely watch.
Gonna watch.
So are we close to seeing Cola Flipper's cocktail of the week yet?
Well, I think we've just we've got a guest at the moment, so I think we'll bring someone in. We'll just get that comment off the thing, and we'll say hello to Mel.
We've got a guest. Hey! In the house.
Hey.
Look, sorry for getting you up so early.
The beast has risen.
How you doing?
I've got my coffee. I'm
not surprised.
I probably look half asleep. Let me just see. Is my microphone working all right?
Yes, fine.
Mic test 1 2 1 2.
Fine.
Lovely.
I think everyone's only here to see you tonight. So.
Hi everyone. I'm sorry I'm late.
How are you doing? No, you're not late. Listen, I appreciate it. You only said, I only messaged you, the beginning of the week and said, if you want to come on at some stage, and then all of a sudden, day before, I think it was yesterday, I got a message saying I can come on tomorrow. So, fantastic. Really appreciate it.
Did you? I hope you meant for today. I just presumed you meant for this week.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
It could have been whenever you were ready.
Okay, I thought you meant come this week, so I was like,
it was. It was this week. Mel, it was definitely this week.
We're glad to have you. We've got a rural school, Kristen.
I don't know why. For some reason, when you said 7:30, I was thinking we were the hour kind of like above. So I was thinking, that's 8:30 in the morning. That'll be fine. And then I worked it out. I was like, no, that's 6:30 in the morning. Holy moly.
So it's what? So it's only coming up to 7 o'clock in the morning now.
Yeah.
Oh, Mel.
Yeah. Oh, Mel, you're amazing.
You're amazing. Got Harry Hobson in.
6:30 would normally be probably okay. It's just that because it was like Saturday night last night, my 19-year-old, he always goes out on the town, and I normally get the phone call to pick him up at 2 a.m. So, I was up late last night doing the 19-year-old runs.
Lovely. We've got project games in.
Was it a couple of drop-offs last night, Mel? Was it a couple of people getting free lifts back from you, or was it just the one?
He actually called me about midnight and was like, can you come get me from town? And he had a couple people with him. And then something happened and he said, I'll ring you back. And he said, no, it's okay. I've got a lift to so-and-so's house. And then he ended up getting an Uber back home about 2:30 in the morning. And I got the knock on the door. He couldn't get in. And so it was a bit of broken sleep last night.
Does your husband not ever get called out to do the picking up?
Well, he's away this weekend. He went away for 4 nights to do some work, so it's just me here this weekend.
I bet he gave him like 50 quid or something. Said, I'm going to have a good night out.
I'd be broke if I did that. He goes out too often.
Oh wow! How's it all going though? Everything okay?
Yeah, everything's going good. That's busy, good. Working hard, hustling.
As you do. What we're going to do, I'm just trying to whip through and say hello to everybody, because we've got obviously a lot of people in tonight. Real Squirrel, Kristen said that 4,000 subs means he must be brilliant, or he has some Chinese hacker friends. Dave reached 4,000 last week.
Woo!
Yeah, ABL, nice one, mate.
Well done, Dave.
Yeah, Gary said he picked up his first Bunko Pop. Said I would never do it, but I'm sure there's some rare ones in there. Some of them are worth crazy money.
Yeah, Back to the Future ones and they can be worth quite a fair bit.
Yeah,
and the horror ones as well. Like the horror ones are really collectible.
Yeah, Dave saying, "Oh, OMG, she made it," because he was saying she's going to be asleep. She has to get her some.
Dave was messaging me last night when I was I could see the messages between the pickups with my son, and he's like, "Why are you giving me one-word short answers?" I'm like, "I'm trying to sleep."
Yeah, it's a lot. Trying to get some kit before we get up early. Right, so what we're going to do, guys, I'm going to whip through this. Andrew's saying there's my future wife. She better not be this late for the wedding. You can always rely on Andrew. Probably everybody knows you, but I have put all the links in the description for Mel's channel, Instagram, for James's Instagram, and YouTube as well.
Well, I wasn't subscribed to you. I had to make a formal apology. There's 2 people I wasn't even subscribed to, but I was doing YouTube, and then I've just realised for me at the moment, because it's my first year of doing full-time reselling, Instagram's going to be more my platform this year. So I'm going to just try and create daily content on there, regular content. And then when I kind of get in a groove with listing and I've got, kind of got that backlog, I've got something to work on, then I can then come back onto YouTube. But year one for me is just get the first year done, and then I can then branch out more into the media. But I do want to have a log of it, so Instagram's just going to be my log. Really, I'm looking forward to it. Survive a year.
That's kind of how I started. I built their Instagram up a little bit before going over to YouTube, and I definitely, once you get into doing YouTube heavily, it's very, very time consuming. So like I would spend more time, I think, on YouTube a week than I do on eBay. So I'm in a pretty good groove with eBay that I can get my listings done very fast, and my systems are all working very fast for me. So that's good. But I think you have to have your eBay set up really well if you want to dive into YouTube and do it as quite full on YouTube, because if you try and juggle both of them, unless you're really, really good with time management skills, you are gonna it's a real struggle.
I'm definitely not. Only because I've kind of, my wife was doing a lot of pickups when I was doing part-time reselling. My wife was she's a teacher. She was dropping our daughter off and picking her up from the childminders, and then I've now taken that responsibility. So I take my daughter to preschool, I pick her up. So it's like an hour and a bit gone. It might even be half an hour drive, but you still got to wait at the door. You've got to collect them. It all adds up. So that's an hour and a half every day. And then that's 5 days a week. Well, actually 4 days a week. One day I have with my daughter, which is just the best. I wanted to have that quality time. And then obviously on the weekend, then I'm in a dilemma, because when our boot sales start, that's work day for me. And then I'm trying to grab that hour. So then trying to fit YouTube on top of that at the moment is neon impossible for me, but it will happen. But then that's with Instagram. I'm almost like, I'm getting my daughter, I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
Aren't you? You enjoy Instagram more at the minute as well.
I'm loving Instagram, and I just feel like it's fun. And it's almost like if I go, I'm going to get 10 listings on today, and I say it, I have to, otherwise I'm going to be embarrassed. So it's kind of like, you've said it, now do it. So it's almost like this is what I'm going to do today. And then if I don't, I've got to make a video and go, I failed. And I've got to put my tail between my legs. So it's going to be good.
We've got Confessions of a Taxi Driver. For those that don't know, Confessions of a Taxi Driver is John from Resellers' new channel. So if you're not subscribed and you haven't checked it out, he's documenting everything about his journey to starting up his taxi company, everything from driving the cars and what he earns and everything. So if you're interested in that, that'll be quite a good one to go and check out.
That'll be fun. I love watching Brum. He's really, really funny.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Sorry, Mel. Well, you were about to say something on the follow-up of what I was saying there. So
I was just saying, like, my YouTube is very much the same as what's happening with you there on the Instagram. Like, me putting it out there to my followers, because there's quite a lot of followers there now. Like, it really holds me accountable. Like, if I say I'm going to do something, then I feel like I have to follow it up in the next video and have it done. So if I put it out there that I'm going to do 30 listings a day, I'm doing 30 listings a day. Like, I'm kind of a competitive person deep down. So I'm not going to put it out there and then let myself fail. So I think, like, and whether or not you do that on Instagram or YouTube or however you do it, holding yourself accountable to something like that is how you will succeed, because everybody should have like something to hold themselves accountable to, whether or not that's a social media platform or an accountability partner.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. And lucky enough, I have James phoning me every day, video calling me, chasing me every day. So John's in now on his other ID.
I know when I ring at about 10 o'clock our time, and if he doesn't answer, it's because he hasn't got out of bed yet and he's embarrassed.
Don't tell everyone that.
and then he'll ring me back half an hour later, like looking on point, and he'll be like, I know I've done this, that, and the other. But that rarely ever happens now. To be fair, Richard's normally up earlier than me. He's normally dropped off everyone, and he's halfway through packaging, and then he's taking 5 minutes.
Sometimes. There's actually a nightlife in Canberra.
Oh, nice.
We've got Little Miss Kieran. How you doing? Oh dear, that's so funny.
Nightlife.
Well, everybody kind of says that where I live is like the boring state of Australia because I live where all the politicians are and all that kind of stuff. But there is very much indeed a nightlife here.
Well, politicians and parties seem to go hand in hand. The UK has been a big talking point about that. When we had lockdown, Boris Johnson had a party, so I'm sure he wasn't the only prime minister or people like that doing that.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Right, talking of party, should we put our party drink up? For everyone to come and see.
I think we'll go into the. I think we should now go into that then, and we'll show. Let me just make sure I've got it all set up, which I have. We're now going to go and watch Cocktail of the Week with Lee.
Lovely.
Cocktail of the Week.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
We have it all here, Mel. We have it all. Here we go.
Hello, Rich, James. How you doing? Hello, chat. Haven't done a cocktail for a while. I've been busy, so time to do a quick cocktail. Before I get on to that, Archie, how old are you nearly?
Nearly 8.
Nearly 8. He's now drawn. He wants me to show you a picture. So that is a Fogler,
Nice.
which is this.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cool.
I think that's pretty good. Anyway,
That's very
cool.
Archie, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Definitely.
Now, if you haven't got fresh blackberries, which you can squish up, I'm going to use this Bombay.
That
brand.
sounds nice.
So it's basically a blackberry infused gin.
Lovely.
And I've also got some rhubarb and gin liqueur.
Nice.
Gin, yeah.
A smidge of lime juice, some apple juice, and cocktail shaker with ice.
Yes,
and a glass
Lee.
of ice. So
Tom Cruise
Mel,
in
we're
the house.
expecting you to have this, Mel. This is your morning wake up.
I'll be spelling it.
Or I'm going to put in 35 mils of this blackberry infused gin.
Oh, just tip it in, Lee.
So
Just tip
basically
it
a
in.
shot of that.
Put the bottle in.
Then I'm going to use a shot of rhubarb and gin.
We don't need
That
those.
sounds
Don't
nice.
need those.
Gin liqueur.
That
This
sounds
is by
nice.
Drury's.
Oh,
So,
lovely.
Again, same amount, so a shot.
Same amount, just tip
35
it in.
mils. And then about 10 mils of lime juice.
Lovely.
Bring that in. And then apple juice. Ideally cloudy apple juice if you got it. I do not today, so
Nice.
I'm going to put in about 150, 175 mils of apple juice.
Nice.
Cocktail shaker already is a third full of ice.
Go on, Tom Cruise.
Go on, Tom Cruise.
Give it a quick shake.
He's a pro. He's a pro. Mel's thinking she's never been on a live stream where we have cocktails. Oh, it happens here.
Oh, I've been on a live stream where we've drunk lots of beers.
Yeah.
It doesn't end very well.
Lovely.
This is the safer version, Mel. Watching drinks being
Watching.
made. This
Got a
is,
name for this one.
and if he falls on the floor backwards, then we're
It's
laughing.
delicious. Archie, have you got a name
That
for
looks.
it? Hasn't thought of one. If you can come up with a name for it, go for it. Otherwise, I shall see you next time. Take care.
I think we should call it
Thank
the
you, Lee.
Archie Special. The Archie
Yeah, I think
Special.
The Archie Special, definitely. Right,
Definitely.
So let's come back on here and we can get rid of. Right,
I've
so
already
it's
done
back. We're
I've
back.
already done it. I'm
Well done,
professional.
well done. You are professional.
Behind the
That's why-
scenes.
That's why I've got you here.
You got my ear.
That's why I've got you here. Right, so we've got Richard's asking Mel, how's the daily refinement routine going? Seems like you're smashing it. Looks tough, but the end result seems to be worth it.
Yeah. So the daily refinement is working very, very well for me. I'm really focused since I've started that. Since I've started kind of working with Chris, I've joined the Daily Refinement Patreon group. So I'm in a lot of their Zoom calls where I'm hanging out with other, like-minded people who are really trying to hustle and grow their business and do the same thing. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's a lot of work. It's just very committed to doing your listing. Do you know what I mean? You have to set your listing goal and you have to follow through with it. And there's no excuses are accepted in that group. So, you know, like if they will help you work out your processes to make you faster at getting your listing done. But there's no time for any excuses of I just didn't get my listing done. I didn't fit it in. You've got to make it happen. So it's been good for me. I think I needed that little bit of a push. And my sales are way up than what they were last year. And it's been really good for me.
That's cool. Yeah. Have you sold a lot of your $200 bundle that you picked up that had all the different bits and pieces in?
Yeah, I think I'm up about $7,000 worth of sales from that.
Wow.
From a $200 pickup?
Yeah.
Wow,
Mel, that's incredible.
That was a good video.
I'm really positive that one's going to hit the 10,000 in sales for sure.
Wow. That was a lot of work, wasn't it? Was it 2 trailers full?
Yeah, that was a lot of work. And that's been a lot of work even ongoing. Like there's been a lot of storage for that. I've just moved out of the storage unit. So now I've got all the stock back here with me in those, you can kind of see it in the boxes.
Yeah.
So I'm working my way through it. But that's been a massive haul. Like it's just been time consuming to sort it, store it. But it's definitely paid off. And I've learned a lot from that haul as well. Because there's been so many different types of books and strange items that I would never have picked up before. So I've really broadened my knowledge, I guess, by doing that haul.
I think it helps when you've got a large bundle. I don't necessarily get pickups nowhere near to that extent, but when I go to auctions, I work on buying bulk lots because I've got more. I'll know 1 or 2 pieces whereabouts my money's safe, but it really is good to learn and learn and learn and learn. It's almost really nice and satisfying when the sales come through as well. Yeah. When it's an item that you've done the research on, then it sells, especially if it sells within a couple of weeks. But yeah, because obviously we've got the boot sales here, and for me, I'm really looking forward to kind of going to them this year. Because I was chatting to my wife the other day, and I said, when I did, how naive I was. When I did my first year of reselling, I was like, not that I thought I know everything, but I was like, I don't think I'll ever learn as much in the second year. That's impossible. I was wrong. I was completely wrong. And I feel like now this is approaching potentially year 3 of reselling. I'm even learning more because there's just so many niches. There's so many products that we could be learning. And then when you think you know a product, there's the vintage version, there's the antique version, there's retro versions, there's different manufacturers, there's different styles. And then when you think you're good at clothing because you sussed out male clothing, and I'm on female clothing, then you can even go on children's clothing. It's like that with books, I imagine. You know, there's so many different genres and books that were done for different things. I suppose that could lead us on to some questions, Richard. What do you reckon?
Yeah,
for Mel?
Shall we do some questions?
Yeah, let's do some sensible questions. Let's do some sensible questions.
Let's at least look professional.
Yeah, let's look professional and sound professional.
You've probably been asked.
And I think you'll always learn more in that first year. Like you'll always learn the most mistakes. And then you'll never stop learning in this game. There's always something to learn about. But in that first year, you'll make a lot of mistakes and you'll learn so much from making those mistakes. And I think you have to make those mistakes to learn.
Definitely. I mean, I every time I used to mess up at the start, like I just used to get annoyed with myself and that. But you can't get annoyed. You've just got to accept it as a lesson. You know, it's not. You know, no one's died or anything, but like, you know, it may be a bit expensive on some occasions, but just take it as a lesson. You know, you'll soon stop doing what you're doing. You know, won't make them mistakes again.
It'll make you a better reseller.
Well, yeah, exactly. Right, so we have got some questions. You've probably been asked them and answered them a million times before.
Okay.
But for those that don't, I mean, probably everyone in here knows who you are anyway. Just want to introduce yourself, like we should have done that at the start, you know, just about your channel and stuff.
We're not professional.
No.
Okay, well, my name is Mel and I'm from Australia and I am on the channel Back from Burnout. And yeah, you can find me over Back from Burnout YouTube and Instagram. And yeah, I basically make vlogs in my shed here about my daily life as a reseller, I guess. I like to keep it real throw a few jokes in there and have a bit of fun with my videos. So keep it real.
Definitely. Oh, they're definitely real. You're definitely real. And your
Very
husband's
real.
Your husband's amazing as well. I mean, he's built you that lovely workspace.
Yep.
He's
built me this shed.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was brilliant.
Yep.
Right. So question number 1 is, what got you into reselling?
Okay, so I had taken some time off my job that I was previously, which was a family photographer. And I'd taken time off that because I was sick, because I had breast implants that were poisoning me basically and making me very, very sick. And so, yeah, I ended up living in like a lot of chronic pain. So I ended up stopped being a family photographer, and I was looking for some money just to kind of do on the side. And I'd started this Instagram account. That's why it's called Back from Burnout. I kind of started this account to bounce me back, and it was all about healthy eating and getting myself mentally strong again. And while I was doing that, I found the reselling community. I found the American community first, and they were selling Nike sneakers. And they were going to the Nike outlets and they were buying these sneakers and selling them. And I was like, oh, I can do that here. So that's how I started. I started buying brand new Nike shoes, and I had probably 150 pairs of Nike shoes in my living room at home. And I was just buying these brand new shoes and selling them on. And then the Nike shop started. We only had the one Nike shop here. They started to ask me quite a few questions, and they wanted me to start signing some waiver forms about that I wasn't reselling. So I started to panic a little bit, and that's when I started looking into the secondhand kind of reselling community. And yeah, so then I kind of switched from Nikes to thrifting secondhand clothes and shoes, and I had my breast implants removed and became well again, and just never went back to photography, just stayed with the reselling because I really enjoyed it.
Wow.
Well, I'm glad you're better.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No more bit. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why my channel is a little bit randomly called Back from Burnout, because it was never, I guess because my Instagram was Back from Burnout, I just made I think I had about 1,000 subscribers on Instagram when I started the YouTube. So it just didn't really occur to me to choose like more of a thrifting kind of name. I just stuck with Back from Burnout, but it doesn't really go with thrifting, but it kind of matches me because I still do go in and out of burnout and get tired easily. I think once you've been through a burnout, you always live with that vicious circle of going up and down mentally and physically with burnout. So it does kind of suit me, I think, the name still, but it is a bit random when people find it.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool name. I just thought you'd burnt yourself out from reselling. So
yeah. That's how I take it as well.
Yeah. No, I burnt myself out and found reselling.
Wow, that's cool.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah.
James?
So what has been your best sale today on eBay? Now, that might not be the biggest profit, but something that if you think about the sales you've ever had on eBay, that you can kind of go, yeah, that's actually my best sale I've ever had. It might be because you found it in a certain way. It might be because you stuck your neck out on something. Because I know there's a lot of YouTube resellers, and we see it in the comments where they go, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to give it a chance, and all the comments go, you'll never sell this, that's impossible. and then they do a video next time, and then all them people that say, you're never going to sell it, they seem to go quiet. So I don't know if it's because you've done a video and then you've gone, I did it. But what would you say has been your best sale on eBay?
I think probably my best sale and probably sales in general is on the Bible. I just sell so many Bibles. They bring me, like, I've sold Bibles for over $200. Wow. I just sold one yesterday that I bought bought last week, and I listed it one day. It sold the next day, $130. So yeah, I'm just constantly, I feel like I constantly sell Bibles, and I sell them for really good money. So I think probably the Bibles have been my best find and my best sales. But yeah, I did have a good sale the other day, which was a bit like what you were saying. I bought these magazines on home brewing, and there was no sold comps, there was none listed, and I put it in my video, kind of like, oh, I've bought these magazines. Are they going to sell? And yeah, I sold them for $169 for this pack of like 10 beer magazines. So that was a really good sale. I was really happy to do that because there's no actual solds for me to go off. And I was making a little bit of a gamble on that because there was nothing to, and I didn't have a clue what to price it as. So I just priced it really high and sold.
That's brilliant. Well, from a very logical point of view, you know, a lot of people got into home brewing over lockdown. So, you know, I think your brain must have seen the logic in it.
I just think it's a good topic, isn't it? But there's lots of books that have sold on that topic. There was just no magazines. So
I'm nowhere near on your scale of a business, but I do really well from magazines, and there's not many YouTubers that I've ever seen tell me to buy it. The first punt I ever took, we have a website called Bay Crazy in the UK, and what it does is any eBay listing, and you can type in the postcode radius that is on a collection only, it pulls up them particular listings. So there was a gentleman who lives about 20 minutes drive from whereabouts I am, had, I think it was something like 600 or 700 rock magazines.
Wow.
And I picked it up for next to nothing. Did a YouTube video on it, and I've now got 2 bundles left. So I think from whatever I paid for it, I'm in a few £1,000s now profit. And then I did it with some, I was chatting to Richard, and there was a guy who was selling it locally. I paid £1, a couple of quid, and it was medical magazines. And then they've just gone, and funny enough, the medical magazines, I just sold 3 lots last week. They're going on to a TV studio. They're all going on a TV set as well, which is amazing. I was just like, that's pretty cool. And then I picked up a load of aeroplane magazines regarding Spitfires and stuff like that. I haven't listed these yet, but downstairs I've just got tubs and tubs and tubs of them. But the person who's had them has done all the eBay work for me. They've put the date, the issue numbers, and I've put them all in folders. So I'm literally going to take them out of a folder, photo it, use the description that they've done, and then I'll just take a gamble on. But yeah, I think magazines are brilliant, and well done, Mel. That's a brilliant.
Yeah, that's a brilliant.
Flip and Phil was saying, what is sourcing like in the US? In Australia, in the US? What am I talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like sourcing is pretty good here. I think it's different than in the US and the UK markets. Like we don't have all the car boot sales that you've got, unfortunately. So we don't have those. And you know, our thrift shops are much smaller than America. I don't know how big yours are, but ours are quite small, our thrift shops. But yeah, like it's not too bad. It's a little bit expensive here, I guess, to buy on some genres, you know, some niches. It becomes like clothing is getting more and more expensive here now to buy in the thrift store. I'm glad I'm not doing clothing anymore. Yeah. But yeah, I think for me, I'm lucky because books are just one of those things that are in abundance everywhere you go. So it's such a great niche, but books are harder for UK, I guess, to sell because you're competing against media mail and you've got some big media buyers over there, which we don't have here. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah. Right. So
I think that's same to like DVDs as well. We've got like music magpie and stuff like that, as you said, because Nick Hills does really well on it, but I imagine he did even better at the beginning when he got into all that. And as you said there, but the thing is that you are good at what you do, and you are right. Clothing, I think, has become harder for everyone, but I don't think it's because it's only because clothing shops have now really cottoned on to the second-hand resale value, where books, people are not probably going to be able to spend the time. So I think you picked a brilliant niche to get into.
I think there's too many.
100 people in at the moment. So that's great. Thank you very much. They've all come to see you, Mel, not us.
100's good. The other day in my live stream, I had 300. I was nearly dying. I could hardly keep up with the chat. I was like, I was missing all these questions, and people were like, "You're missing my question." I was like,
I know. That's why I run through it, and I'm like concentrating on that because I hate to miss people's comments. Right, let's get on to question 3. Who is your favourite YouTuber? Now, it doesn't have to be reselling. It can be anything and everything. But what is your favourite sort of videos that you're watching right now? What YouTuber?
My favourite YouTuber would probably be a non-reselling channel. Hold on, I just need to cough. Let me hold.
No worries.
It's COVID. She's got COVID. You've given her COVID.
The wrong way.
You've given her COVID, Richard. She's got the COVID.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do. I
Have a
follow
jab.
this. There's two people that I follow that I really love. One of them is a UK and one of them is US.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the US girl is called Beatrice Caruso, and she is just a funny. She's like a vlogger, I guess. She's vlogging a little bit, but she's on a weight loss journey, like to lose weight, and she's just very, very funny. Keeps it real. I don't know why. I don't even know how I found her. I just enjoy her sense of humor, I guess. So every single one of her videos that comes out, like I have to watch it. She only does once a week. And there's another girl who is a UK girl, and her name is Natasha Oceana. And she's just, she's also kind of into the health and fitness, but her boyfriend does a lot of videos with her. Beautiful girl, funny, smart, just... she cooks, and I don't know, like it's just I guess those kind of channels are a step away from me from the reselling, because you can consume yourself with so much reselling that
it's nice to watch other stuff.
Yeah, it is nice to watch other stuff. And also I think with me now, I actually sometimes find it, if I watch too much reselling content, then it almost hinders me in the content that I create, because it's like I think, oh, they're making that, I need to make something like that, or maybe I need to be more that style. Whereas the less I watch, I find the more I be myself. And then
you've got to be you. You've got to be you.
Yeah, I'm not hindered or trying to be like other resellers. Like, and I think that's probably what's helped my channel grow in the end, is that I think my channel is a little bit different now than a lot of other resellers. So, and I think that's because I'm more comfortable being myself, because I'm not trying to be like everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
UK reseller, that's Colin. He said the first antique book I sold, I listed for £70 and it sold straight away, which told me I undercooked it. It was the Swiss Family Robinson, 1812. Was that a mistake, or did I get lucky?
I've never comped that book, so I don't know, but I'm kind of always under the feeling of like, if you've made a profit on that, if you were happy to sell it for £70 when you listed it, and you've made I would suspect you've probably made a pretty good profit off that. You've probably only bought it for a few pounds.
Yeah.
Like, I think sometimes you've got to let those feelings go of like, oh, could I have got more? Like, just be like, yes, £70, move on to the next one, you know, put it towards getting some more books or more stock, and get out there and be happy with it. I don't know. I don't really look back. If I sell something the same day, I'm like, yes. I'm never sitting there thinking, oh, I could have got more for it. I'm like, oh, well, yes.
No,
sold.
because especially like now I'm doing it full time, you kind of, you know what you want for something. And if you're achieving what you wanted, then whether I put it on and it sells straight away, or whether it sells whenever, as you say, I try not to get attached to items. To me, I'm here for business. And if there's anything that I really like, then I should keep it. Yeah. So I'm just like, I've invested X amount of money and now I've got this money back. I'm happy. So I think it's the right attitude to have. And, you know, if you've got something really special, then you'll kind of know anyway, because if you're finding no comps on something, then take the time to put that aside and then do the proper research. I imagine you've probably come across some amazing books in your time.
Oh, I've got like a whole heap here of really antique old ones. So I set them aside a little bit because they're a little bit harder for me to price and list. But yeah, I found a book the other day that's 200 years old, and it's like, oh my goodness, how do I price this thing? But yeah, I don't know. We're not in the business here to store, are we? I mean, a lot of us are storing a lot of stuff. I'm running out of room in here, so I want to move the stuff around fast so I can keep adding new stuff. Like, yeah, I don't want to store it. I want to, like, you think about like a share or something. If you invested like $1 into your share, how long is it going to take you before you like triple your money? If you've invested $1 into a book or £1 and it sells for £70 the next day, like you have won.
If you told someone that in the stock markets, they'd be like, that's never going to happen. So yeah, it's a good investment. Talking of kind of eBay and YouTube, which we spoke about earlier. So question 4. Are we on question 4?
Yeah.
Are you on?
Question 4.
So if you could only do one of the two, so whether it be YouTube or eBay, so you had a choice. Someone said, look, you can't do both, sadly, but you can either do YouTube, and that's going to be how your business is going to be. And, you know, you've got 1 million subscribers, so it's never going to be an issue. Or YouTube closes down, but you can just focus on your eBay business, but it gives you everything else that you're getting. I imagine, obviously, you're going to see people, you've got friendly faces, there's all that. I don't know what's mental health that I'm looking for. There comes a point of lots of it, but which one would you choose and why? So either YouTube or eBay full time.
I would probably definitely choose YouTube. YouTube is way more fun. You know what I mean? Like YouTube, like eBay is very systematic. It's like eBay's like a robot, basically, isn't it? It's a spreadsheet that we basically just enter in facts and, you know, get our listings up and it's done. YouTube is fun. You get to have your creative outlet. You get to
meet
you know,
people.
and I think that's partly why I liked doing YouTube, because being a photographer before, it was a very creative outlet. So then moving into a very disciplined, boring, repeat process of eBay, because that's basically what it is, isn't it? Source, photograph, you know, list it, ship it. Like, it's very rinse and repeat. So with YouTube, I get to play around and make, you know, try and be as creative as possible. But, you know, at the end of the day, my YouTube is on eBay, so I really need the two of them to combine it.
Oh,
but,
of course.
YouTube is
we'll let you keep them both.
YouTube is definitely way more fun. I feel like it's fun, but it's, you know, it is a grind, YouTube, and it takes a long time before you start reaping any rewards financially from it. Like you have to really work your butt off to be able to make the money.
Yeah, definitely. What 3 tips or advice, what 3 bits of advice would you give to someone if they were just looking at getting into reselling?
Okay, so one, I would be like, be patient. Patience is your key. I think there's a lot of new resellers that come out the gate really fast, you know, like they see other resellers on Instagram, socials, and they're like, oh, you mean I can just go and buy this for 50 cents and I'm going to sell it for 100? It doesn't always happen like that. You know, and patience, I think even building a store up, a lot of people think that they're going to list on eBay and get sales flowing automatically. It doesn't happen like that. You've got to build your store up to have a certain amount of numbers. You know, you really need 500 to 1,000 items in a store before you're going to start seeing daily sales consistently, I think, anyway. But so I think patience would definitely be the key. And the other thing I would say is, like, learn what you like and what you don't like selling. And if there's something that you don't like selling, you don't have to sell that because everybody else is selling it. Because, like, at the end of the day, we do this job to be our own boss, and we don't want to be selling things that we don't enjoy. Like, I thought about going back to selling clothes, but I just don't enjoy selling clothes. So why would I put myself through that? Like, if I wanted to go back to a job I don't like doing, I'll go back and work for somebody else. So experiment, I think, in the beginning with different niches, but then kind of zone in on the niches that you actually like and drop off the ones that you don't. You don't have to buy things just because other people do.
Yeah.
And what else would I say? Patience. Oh, you've put me on the spot here. 3. I would just probably say one of the biggest things I think to do when you first get your eBay going is also implement your SKU systems right from the beginning. I think there's a lot of resellers who get to about 500 items and then go, oh, I need to really have a bit more of a system. Like, this channel starts growing. I mean, your eBay store starts growing fast. And if you don't have that system in place from the very beginning, it'll become, you have to go back and you'll end up double doing all the same work when you have to go back and fix it all up. And I have seen stores in the Daily Refinement group that have absolutely sunk because they had no SKU system. They weren't sending things out on time. You know, their metrics have gone down so bad, and now they have to work so hard to pull their store up to a level that eBay is giving them sales. So, yeah, I think inventory can be a massive massive issue. And also not to pay up too much in the very beginning for items while you're learning, because that's one of the biggest mistakes I think we make. We pay too much for an item because we think it's worth more than it is. And, you know, the item is only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. It's not always worth what we can't sit there and go, oh, but it's a Levi's, so it must be worth more because it's a Levi's. It doesn't work like that. It's only worth what somebody wants to pay for it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Great answers.
Yeah.
No, really good answers. Really good answers. I think you kind of, you're exactly right about doing. Why would you do a job that you're working for yourself? Yes, you've got your own business. But why would you do a job that you don't like? You're exactly right. And I think that was the problem that I think I've had from the other jobs. That's what really got me into reselling. But what I sell now isn't what I started off with. And I think what I got into initially was, because of lockdown, was computer games, because everyone was doing it. There was a big pressure. As soon as lockdown finished, you got to see the real prices. And I was like, yeah, I want out of that. And also, sadly, because it was such low value, it meant a lot of people would go, it hasn't arrived. It hasn't arrived.
Yeah.
And I kind of said to myself, I'm happy to sell any item above £10 because I'll have it tracked. And I don't want to send items lower than that because I need to have them tracked for that security. So it's not worth me. I'd rather make lower profit and have that security, and then I can kind of got evidence to kind of go to people. Not that I should think every customer's like that, but it just gets rid of as minimal. It means my money, whatever I'm investing, there's very little dropout. And the only dropout that happens nowadays, I'd say the biggest one, is because I've made an error in purchasing. So if it's clothing, I didn't spot a defect, and I'll put my hands up. I'm still learning stuff. Things that kind of get me at the moment, because I'm quite new to clothing, is when it's had a repair and you can't see it on the front, but it's on the inside because the wool's been done. And I'm now learning it's as much as important to check on the front and fold the item inside out and then look at it that way. Where initially I wouldn't even be thinking like that.
Yeah.
Going on to our next question for you. So on eBay, so we've obviously now given this make-believe reseller their advice, but on eBay as well, something to kind of for them to help them, or anyone who's watching as well. What would you say the most important thing is when doing a listing? So that might be photos, it might be titles, it might be descriptions, it might be filling out all these lovely drop-down boxes we've got to do. But what's the number one most important thing you would say on an eBay listing?
Your title, definitely. Title first, photo second. You know, they're the two things people are seeing straight away. But your title needs to be the first thing because that's what people are searching. So if you don't have searchable keywords in your title, your listing can't be found. Like the listing just has to be full of, like, it can't be full of fluff. It needs to, eBay is all about facts. Like eBay doesn't care for anybody's opinion. It doesn't care what your opinion is on anything. It's all about the facts. So you write your title very factual and keyword searchable, because if somebody's typing it into that search bar, you need them to be able to find you. So it needs to be written as if a buyer is searching for it. Not, you know, you don't want to, a lot of people use the title almost to describe the item. People aren't searching for that. Like, you think when you go to Google what you're searching, it's just a few words that are very specific to bring up what you need to see. Your title needs to be exactly the same. And then the photo obviously needs to be a nice clear photo that's easily seen with no distractions in the background. And, you know, if you've got a good title that comes up and your photo's nice and clear, hopefully you'll get the click.
With the title, Mel, so this is probably almost me asking as well. So you've got yourself your title. Is it important that you use all the characters on all the listings, or could that actually hinder you? Sometimes is it better to have less information? So because I don't know the answer myself, and obviously you've been in the game a lot longer than myself, I suppose that question's, you know, is should I always try and put as much information on there? What would you say the answer is?
I would say yes. I would say as long as you're filling it up with searchable keywords and you're not keyword spamming. So you don't want to be using the same word twice. You don't want to look like you're just doing spammy words at all. As long as they're all very searchable keywords, I think you're fine. And if you always kind of do the same, you get into the habit of doing the same kind of, like my books are almost always the same. There's the title of the book. There's, if it's like a fantasy book, so I might write, what's it called? Like the Tower of London, fantasy hardback book, fantasy hardcover book, the author's name, and then I might write anything more specific, like vintage. I put more of those keywords, vintage, you know, or maybe healthy or something like that about the book.
Yeah.
But you end up, if you write your titles in the same kind of order every time, you know, they become very factual and you're writing the same things. But yeah, I definitely do try and fill my title up with as much as I can, as long as I feel like it's appropriate to the listing and it's not just fluff or spamming.
Yeah, I get that. Because ever since like watching your video when you described the titles, I took away from that and something I've been looking at. Because one thing that I always question is I always see the word men's and woman's always in a title. Yep. And I'm like, but does it really need to be there when the eBay search algorithm, I've already selected clothing, men's, so it already knows it's men's. So does men's need to be in the title, or is that just, suppose, yeah, again, I'm asking you, but is that just a fluff word? Because if you've already chosen the correct category, is it worth putting R&B jacket, woman's, yellow, size 16? Is it worth putting?
I would put men's or women's, because the thing is, like, if somebody's using down the left-hand side and they're typing in men's, if they're using the item specifically to search, then obviously it'll come up for men's. But if you're just typing, if you just go to YouTube and type in the search bar, you know, I'm looking for a men's button-up shirt, because if you just type up button-up shirt, it's going to bring up men's and women's, because you haven't been specific enough in your search. So for somebody who's searching via the search bar, they need those words, men's or women's. That is a searchable keyword. And also Google likes the men's and the women's, the external links. So yeah, definitely you don't need to put in like new or used. That's you don't need to write the condition of it into the title, but yes, you should write whether or not it's men's or women's.
That's cool. That's cool. I have been doing men's and women's. I was just trying to work out whether or not I should be removing that and getting other characters in there, but that's cool. Yeah. I'm happy to say I've kind of, because I do a lot of sell similars, and you can kind of see the good, especially when you look at the higher sold comps, you can see the good titles. But I've always thought to myself, am I wasting characters by having men's and women's? Because technically I've already chosen the correct drop down. So it's nice to get a bit of reassurance that because it's quite, I know it sounds desperate, but you've already got so many characters and you're like, oh, I could have put button up, or I could have put the way the cotton is type of thing. So I was just chatting to you the other day about that, Richard, when I was doing jumpers and stuff like that, certain blouse and collar styles. Like I made a mistake. Like I was like, oh, this is a wing collar, and I was like, no, it's not a wing collar. It's either a standard or like you've got like straight. But there's so many different types
and the different
cashmere, like the wools as well that I was looking at, and I was like, these are really good words to have in there, because someone might be after like a certain type of jumper for an outfit. And I suppose not only am I learning what sells, but also more about the actual product itself and using better describing words. But yeah, no, appreciate that, Mel. That's sorry to bombard you about these titles and all this.
No, that's good. That's good. That's like that is literally the most important thing. So
yeah, and Rachel Strickland just said the same thing. Title. So we've got question number 7. What are your hobbies? What do you like doing in your spare time?
Gosh, I don't have a lot of spare time these days. I love camping. I love to go camping. I would love to do more of it and have more weekends away. And I'm really hoping that, like this year, I know that I've committed to kind of really working hard for probably 6 months. I reckon of this year, it's going to take me to get into a really strong habit and workflow of what I'm doing. And then I'm really hoping that after winter, we're going to start doing some more trips than what we've done in the past.
Yeah.
But I don't hobbies. I don't know. I like to go walking. I don't know. I don't have a lot of spare time. I don't watch much TV anymore.
Do you think of YouTube as a hobby?
No, not anymore. I used to think of YouTube as a hobby when I started. Like I started YouTube as kind of like my side hobby on the eBay. Now the YouTube is just as much part of my business as eBay. And I really treat the YouTube now as a business. Like I'm very calculated now with what I'm putting out there, what I do on my channel. Things that I did within the first 1,000 subs, you're not going to see me doing now on my channel.
I mean, that's the thing. You're at the point now where, where you're saying earlier that, it takes a while to get to where you can actually make a living from YouTube. I mean, I know that at the moment. It's hard. It's hard. You've got to keep on. You've got to be consistent, and you just got to work your butt off to get to where you want to be with it, I think.
Yeah, and you have to stay quiet. Like in the beginning, you can chop around and you can try different things. But once you develop an audience that, like, people have subscribed to me for eBay stuff, I can't just go and mix up like different stuff. Like I could probably in a little bit, but not really, because there's the people that signed up to me just for eBay. They don't want to see any other fluff on there. They want to see me talking about eBay. And, basically people come to YouTube for two things. They're there to get value, or they're there to get value and learn something, or they're there for entertainment. So I guess I try and mix a bit of both into my videos. Like I try and make them a little bit entertaining, but also by adding tips and trying to give some hints and value into it as well. But definitely. Yeah, I think you get to a certain point, and probably if I could look back and change anything, I would have probably treated YouTube more business-like in the beginning. But it's also, that's how you build your community in the early stages as well, by being a little bit more relaxed and doing like more hangouts and stuff like that. Whereas now it really is like a business. It is earning me money, so I have to treat it quite professionally like that.
Yeah. Apparently, we just made Dave spit his tea out. She lives in Burnout, he says. Hobbies.
Dave's been worried about me. He keeps thinking that I'm doing too much.
No, I think what you're doing is amazing, Mel. And I hope that next year I can put myself in a similar situation. I might contact you personally about kind of getting involved with the group that you're with. For me, because I've got so much going on, I can't then I can't push myself even more. It's kind of, I just want to find a balance. And then I want to then make that much more systematic. I want to make it better. At the moment, paying the bills, I'm fine. I'm not worried. But yeah, next year, once I've done a full year of this, I know how much time I've got, because I know how much time I've got in a week, where I'm sourcing, what I'm getting. And then I'll feel like I want to kind of come to yourself and challenge myself to really see what potential I can go for. But yeah, definitely. I think go for it, Mel. I think at least if you do this year the way you're going, you can then reflect on it on previous years and go, yeah, I'll probably do that again. Or you might be like, you've got something to compare against. And it's like, for me doing this, I just want to, if I don't have to go back in that office, I don't have to have that cringe conversation with everyone. What did you do this weekend? And I'll be like, oh no, we went out walking and I took my daughter here. And then I'll be like, yeah, we just went out clubbing. And it's just the same conversation every week. And I could ask them it today, I could ask it tomorrow. And it's just, they do the same thing. And that's nothing wrong with that. And I wish them all the best. But I want to surround myself like Richard, yourself, Mel, people who have that oomph about them. And that's what I just wasn't getting out of that job. Talking of oomph and targets and goals, question 8, what are your goals for 2022? And that might be personal or business related as well. So what are your goals for this year?
Okay, so my goals have been, I want to list 10,000 listings this year. So that's 200 a week. I want to do 150 videos, which is 3 videos a week. And so those are kind of my like statistical goals, I guess. On like personally, I'm trying to focus on my health. I want to lose a bit of weight. I'm trying to eat clean, eat healthier, all that kind of stuff. So that's been a big goal for me. And I feel like I need that to be able to maintain the workload that I'm putting on myself. Like I need to be eating healthy. I can't be eating and feeling like rubbish because I'm eating rubbish. I need to be eating well to perform well, I guess.
I know that one at the minute.
Yeah. So I think this year's just been about finding my focus again. Last year I was on a little bit of a roller coaster and wasn't a great year for me last year. So this year has just been about bringing back that focusing on my own health, well-being, mental health, and, you know, really seeing what I can do with my sales and with the YouTube. I think this year, you know, by being consistent, because last year I wasn't consistent, and consistency I think is always the key. So if you can stay consistent, you will grow. So yeah,
I definitely know what you're talking about wanting to get in shape. I mean, I'm asthmatic, and before I moved down here, like, my asthma was terrible. I live near the sea now, lucky enough, but since lockdown and then losing my brother in July, I've just been comfort eating, and that's the only thing that made me happy, was eating. The business sort of went out the window, which I'm back on now. I'm getting back on it now, back sort of on the path of where I want to be now. And the health's the only thing now that I really need to sort out and sort of get my listing on point and just sort things out. I'm just in the process as well of shutting my storage unit down and bringing some stuff back here, but not a lot of it's going to get, most of it's going to get donated to charity or dumped. But I definitely know the thing about wanting to get healthy and get my diet back and just start feeling better about myself. I definitely know where you're coming from.
Makes a huge difference. And like, I was the same last year. I just had a bad year in general. And so, I was just not eating well. I was eating a lot of takeaway. I was drinking way too many beers. And I just was constantly waking up feeling tired. And this year I just made that commitment. I think you have to be ready for it. It's a bit like when you start a diet. You have to be almost ready to commit to that diet, and the eBay is very much the same. Like if you decide, okay, I'm going to give it my all with eBay and I'm going to list consistently, you have to really set the intention and make that happen. Like for me, listing 30 things a day, like that doesn't just happen. I have to intentionally make that happen. Like if I was only listing 5 things a day, it would be different. I could get to the end of the day and go, oh, haven't done my 5, but it's okay. I can just go in there and quickly do them. But when you're doing 30 a day, you can't do that. Like you have to intentionally set that time block that is 2 or 3 hours or whatever it is to get 30 listings up. And you can't get to the end of your night and go, oh, haven't done my listing. Oh, well, it's all right. I can just quickly do it. Like, no, you have to intentionally set that time and make it happen through the day. So you have to work on your time management skills, and you have to let go of a lot of distractions. Like I think I had a lot of distractions going on in my life, and I've had to be much more disciplined this year in like, no, this is what I'm doing first, and then the other stuff can come later.
Yeah. And I think also, like, you know, if you're healthy bodily, you're healthy mentally, and if you've got those 2 things, you know, you're going to be more clear about your goals and your working, you know, you're going to be more on it, because if you're not feeling it health wise, you're not going to be feeling it up here. And you're just not going to make it. You're not going to make it. And I realized that from the past 2 years.
And when you're mentally not in the headspace, it's so easy just to go, oh, can't be bothered. No, I'm just going to go in there and watch TV, or I'm just going to, just can't be bothered today. I might go sourcing instead of, I should be listing, but I just can't be bothered. I'll just go sourcing, you know, like it's so much easier if your mental headspace is like almost allows you to do that. You have to, have those boundaries where you just say, no. And that's a hard headspace to get into. And I was just lucky that I think this year I was ready for it. And, you know, Dahlia Fryman, Chris, he approached me in December to ask me to work with him throughout the year. And I think it just couldn't have come at a better time for me, because I knew that he doesn't take any excuses. So if I wanted to commit to Chris and be accountable to him, I had to commit to the whole process.
Yeah.
So
Dave Repairs is saying I ate a lot of Tim Tams. Is that something from Australia?
Yeah, I sent Dave. Dave actually spent one day, he helped my son who was having a computer problem. So Dave actually logged in from UK to Australia into the back end of my son's computer, spent hours in there trying to fix it for him. So I sent him like a big thank you box of like Australian chocolates and treats and stuff. And he liked the Tim Tams.
Yeah. Debs is saying, thanks, Mel. Currently changing my eBay titles as we speak.
Yeah, they're very, very important. Very important.
Whose question is it? Yours.
It's you. It's an extension of what you're on 9. It's an extension. It's an extension. Now we've talked about this year.
Yeah. Where do you see your business in 5 years' time?
Ooh, 5 years. Geez, that's a long time. Well, I hope it's still going, and 5 years.
Where would you like to see your business go?
Yeah, because you're implementing this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but obviously it's good to have that path, but you've got to kind of see a little bit further on, so you know why you're going to do what you're going to do this year. So where do you see yourself?
I think I'm still not in that. I'm still not sure if I want to keep my business like at this kind of shed level, or if once I build too big for this shed level, if I'm going to want to go out and extend that to a different size. I know that if I went to a bigger size than this shed, I'll need helpers, I'll need workers, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not 100% sure yet what direction I want to take that business. I might want to stay this side. I'm not 100% sure. I guess I definitely want to keep seeing the growth on YouTube. I'd really like to keep growing that, obviously build the subscribers, and that would be amazing if I could build the YouTube up amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but I'm not sure what level I want my eBay business to actually be, but I definitely want to be, I guess, living debt free, doing a job that I love, and, having that work-life balance so that I can fit everything in. Whereas at the moment, I feel like I'm grinding a little bit harder. I've got old debts. I've still got the debt from when I had my surgery. So, I'm still paying, and I'm paying off some old school fees. So I've never had any debt with my business, but I've got old like personal debt. And I just want to, this year, I'm really focused on kind of paying all that down and starting. I mean, I'm getting older now. So like the next 10 years, like I'm, I got to start thinking of retirement.
It's a nice thought, isn't it?
But you are right though, Mel. But from your point of view, if you're going to get rid of all them debts and kind of get them down, that means that you could do half the work to achieve the same amount realistically, which then frees up the camping trips, that time that you want to have to yourself. Yeah. So this hard work has a massive impact, because your future might be, I don't want other people working for me because they'll never work at my level. Yeah. But I can actually do half the work and I'm getting the same amount of money. So, but the benefit you've got that you'll always grow, hopefully, fingers crossed, is that YouTube is the gift that will keep on giving, because if you do them videos this year and achieve what you've said, you'll have that backlog of them videos. And if you do it the following year, then you've just got such a good amount of videos and content out there that should help pay the bills as well.
Oh, definitely.
I prefer YouTube than eBay.
Because it's fun. YouTube is fun. You've got your creative outlet. It's also quite social on YouTube. You get to talk like this with other creators and other resellers. Whereas sometimes if you don't have that, you're just stuck in your little eBay website all the time doing the grind. It can be very rinse, repeat, boring. So YouTube does give you that, not only the creative outlet, but like a very big social outlet. I've met so many people on YouTube that it's made
the world a smaller place, doesn't it? Like having this sort of thing. I've said it before when we've had Rachel on, we've spoke to Shay, we've had
Miss Q.
We've had people on, from America, and it just makes the world smaller. It's nice to be able to reach out to people in other countries. I think it's amazing. And I
feel like I've made worldwide friends.
Definitely.
I've literally got worldwide friends. I've got UK friends that I talk to nearly on a daily basis. I would love to come to UK and do a reseller meetup. I'd love to come visit Nick and Andrea and stay with them. And
definitely.
I can't. That would be actually one of my goals. Like, if my business is successful enough that it can fund me to travel around and visit other resellers, that would be like absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it'd be very cool.
I can imagine a YouTube series now. That would be quality.
It would be so cool.
It would be like Mel Meets, and that's all it needs to be called. It's nice and simple, and then you just go meet everyone, and it would just be.
I'd love it.
YouTube. It would be millions of views, and everyone would pay for your flights.
I don't know if I'm ever going to get one of those millions of views videos, but I would definitely love to come.
Dave Repairs has asked a question for JR and Rich. Mel will eventually come over here. Where do we hold the party? Well, I've got a beach. I'd love to see the beach.
You live here.
I'd love Mel to kind of see all areas, because obviously I'm in the north of England. So I if you're going to come and do it, it's because like Nick's down south, you're down south. I think it's like when I go to Australia, because my wife, she traveled Australia. She's like, you can't just go one place. There's just so much for you to see. And because England is so small, you can drive up to the top of the country within 24 hours. So it makes sense for you like to do a couple of days here, a couple of days there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got to experience it.
The thing is, it's a long way to come. If you're going to come all that way, you've got to travel. You've got to travel the whole country and just fill up a massive cargo box.
100%.
Just fill it up, ready to ship back.
I just would love it. I think I could just go to all the different resellers and say, I think what would be fun is if I just like say I came to you, Richard, and then just went, okay, you show me your area, and then you show me what you like of your area. Take me to the best pub. Take me to this, and you know. And then if I went to James and was like, right, now you take me to your favorite areas, like how good would that be if you
travel? How cool would that be? Like. I think, Mel, that is the right attitude. Forget, let's just go to one place. Let me go and meet lots of different resellers, and you're going to experience their best things, and you'll get something from it. Yeah, exactly. Like
it's like Tommy Bernard said the other day. You know, if we went to America, because me and James said, I would love to go to America and do the same sort of thing. And he said, you know, there's enough resellers scattered about to probably sort you out on every stop of your journey, and it'd be the same thing here. You know, there's so many guys around the country, you know, many of them in here, and you know, I'm sure they'd love a visit from you. I'm sure you'd have a wonderful time traveling up and down the country, like all the best pubs and the best sites. You know, it's like down here, got Arundel Castle, which is an amazing place, and it's like it's such a nice country, and it you know, say you'd have a whale of a time.
Yeah,
you'd have an amazing time traveling around. You'd be very drunk, but you'd have an amazing time.
I'd be like constant hangover.
But what you could do, Mel, you could be like each day, you could be like, I'm only allowed 2 drinks, so you've got to make them drinks count. Put the pressure on the people you're meeting. Could be quite cool, because they'd be like, we've got like a local Lancaster brewery whereabouts we are, and their distillery is amazing. Like, I wouldn't even be like, have a generic brand that you can buy anywhere else. Try the local products, you know, and then you're going to be like, oh, this is really quite cool. But yeah, I'd love that. I'd love for when we do America, because me and Richard are 100%, like, whether we do it because of YouTube or we just do it together, just an experience together. We both like similar films, so we both want to do the Goonies track as an example in America. We want to do like the Goonies film and do that together, and there's lots of places we'd like to go, so that could be quite cool.
So fun.
Yeah, that's cool. Over to you, James.
Yeah, so question 10. Yeah, last question. Well, I'm sure the chat will probably be asking.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be more.
But obviously your husband's built the workspace, and obviously we've seen the videos of it. Like, I'm always in awe when I see your videos, in a sense of that it's just so fresh, it's bright, and it looks. But how are you actually finding working in it now? Now we can see it's getting fuller and fuller. But how are you finding working in it compared to everywhere else you've worked?
It's the best. It's the best. Just being able to walk outside from the house to come in here, and if I want to go in and grab a coffee, but I'm also separated, so I don't have the noise. I don't have the television on in the background there as distraction. You know, I'm very separated. Like it's so like now I can come out here and stream. Like if this was in the house like it used to be, I wouldn't have been able to get up at 6 a.m. when everybody else is asleep in the house and stream. Like it's too hard. But it's just so I'm working so much more productively having the computer, the stock, everything in one space. Where in the past I was going, you know, even when I was in the other houses, I'd have the computer in one room, stock in the garage, and I would have stock I was working on at the computer, and it was just constant back and forth. And with the storage units, the same. I had no Wi-Fi, couldn't use a computer in there. I couldn't do any listing or check listings for any inventory control, and made it so hard. And the business is just running so much more smoother now, because if I've got a problem, I just literally go from the shelf to the computer, check it, and so it's made a huge difference. The only thing I wish is that the shed was double the size, but you know.
But then if you had that double the size, you'd soon be wanting to extend it again.
That's exactly.
Isn't it?
You
always want more.
A bigger place. Yeah.
I think that's one thing that I've probably got a lot of here, but I'll let it slip for year one. But distractions, I'm very happy with what I've got, because I've got 2 setups in my house. I've got a clothing setup that's instantly here with a mannequin, and downstairs was whereabouts I created my business. It's in like my cellar, which is all like walled out. That still has like TVs and things next to me, because obviously I was doing the consoles. But I think next year, one thing I probably will remove will be luxuries, or I'll disconnect all the luxuries anyway whilst I'm working. I'll let it slip. Let it slip this year, though. Let it slip this year.
It looks like everyone's planning Mel's trip over here. So everyone's planning the trip. England, Scotland, Wales. Andrew's saying you've got to go there first. Dave said he's already shown you the southwest. So when he's not making contact, that's Lee's link. So all the links to Mel's Instagram and channel are all in the description anyway. James's links are in the description that way, and my Instagram's in the description.
And Mel's just dropped a new video as well, so after this stream, I can all go watch it.
We'll be watching that as well.
Yeah, go everyone after this. Go and watch my video. See, I was so planned ahead, scheduled.
Oh yeah,
it's Dave saying you've got. Have you got relatives over here?
My husband's family is Scottish, so he's
brilliant.
Yeah, he's got relatives over there.
I've got relatives I've got all my family are from Glasgow, so.
So I'm not exactly sure where. They're not relatives that we really keep in contact with, but they would definitely put us up if we went over there and wanted to see it. But
it would be a clever way to come into the country, which is in a sense of that land with relatives, see them, and then work your way down.
Yeah, visiting family and then just shop the hell out of the country.
I'd need about a month, and for me to have like a month, I'd need to bring my kids, and then it's a very expensive trip.
You might find you're better off hiring like a really good camper van potentially, that can almost like bed you, so you don't have to pay for accommodation. And then that way you can all like go together, because not all the kids might be jumping for joy for that idea of like coming over. I would be.
They would be. They're big enough now that they would, you know.
Well, hopefully your 19-year-old might end up having they might drive their own vehicle around. When I did India, we did a month in India, and we just stuck to the south of India and went to certain places. But definitely staying in one place, like having that flexibility and having a month in England, like I think you'd love it.
Oh, I would love it. It's definitely on the wish list. Once I get the debt knocked down, if I can do that this year. And I see you've got Urban Fossicker in your chat. Like that's Megan. So Megan is she's one of my like closest reselling friends, and I'm going to go travel up to see her this year. But she holds me so accountable, and she's holding me accountable to getting my debts paid and getting all my finances and my bookwork up to date. And that'll be one of the bonuses from doing all that, is I'll have all this money that I can actually save to come travel.
Yeah. What country would you say is sort of at the top? Not necessarily here. What country is on top of your list to go and visit? What would, if you could go to one place tomorrow, where would it be?
Nashville.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm a big country music fan, and I would just love to go to Nashville. I'd love to go to the country music festival that's held there every year, but I'd just love to go to all their little small bars where they've got the buskers and people playing. I don't know. Nashville is just something that I've always wanted to do.
It's as good a place as any, I think.
That's amazing.
See, I'd like to go. I don't know. I'd like to go to the States. I've got relatives in America and Australia, but like it's the long flight. I think that would do me in. The flight is so long.
Oh, you'd be fine with that. That's fine. You'd be fine.
You just have to knock yourself out.
I can sleep for England, so yeah, I'd just go sleep.
Just fly with Emirates. You've got plenty of entertainment and food to eat.
Oh yeah, I'd like to go first class Emirates. Business class.
I've seen videos of that. It looks amazing. It
looks
absolutely sensational.
And he used to get given all these flights, and some of them are like a little hotel room. They're amazing. Got its own little bar, and it's got its own little pop-up TV.
You won't even need to go to the country. Just go on the flight.
Oh yeah, that's a holiday in itself. What about you, James? Where do you want to visit that you haven't?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I suppose because we've got Holly and she's 4 years old. I'd like her to be a little bit older, but sounds daft, but I'd probably like to kind of take her to maybe Indonesia, whereabouts we've been.
Yeah.
Or India. So it's not for me about going to a place that be new. I would just like Holly to experience that whereabouts we've been before. And I'd like her to have them experiences when I went there in my mid-20s. That she's learning that very early on. I'd almost want to be given what we've learned. I think we're very fond as a family to New Zealand, and I think we're very fond to Australia as well. New Zealand to potentially live, I don't know, but maybe it could be on the cards one day, just because we live very close to the Lake District, and we love that that type of scenery. We love the lakes. And New Zealand's pretty good for making money as well. So
New Zealand, I'd love to travel there. It looks absolutely stunning. I'd love to take my camera there and like take lots of photos because it's beautiful. But a lot of people think when they first meet me that I am New Zealander because of my accent. I don't know. A lot of people think that my accent sounds quite New Zealandish more than Australian. So yeah, I quite often get mistaken for being a New Zealander.
Chris is asking, do you still chat with Bron and Rod?
Nope.
Oh. Why did you ask that question?
I haven't spoken to them for a year. So.
Oh wow. Dave's saying the good thing about Aussies drive on the same side of the road. That's one good thing. For those that are scared about driving on the wrong side of the road, you know, at least it's all good, isn't it? It's the same side. When we all meeting up, nowhere near Knight's wife, as it's like 9 hours where I am. 9 hours? Jeez. Do a great job of keeping accountable. That's your
good.
There you go. Of keeping her accountable too.
We both hold each other accountable.
And that's the main thing. I mean, you know, that's what I mean. James, you know, if I'm ever feeling not with it, you know, he doesn't go crazy at me if I'm having an off day and I can't get my finger out my ear hole. He, you know, he's good, but he does say, come on, you know, let's get these 5 done. He said, you know, I'll work with you. I'll do my 5 or my 10 or whatever we're doing. And most of the time I'm all right. I've had a bit of a slow week, but it's just something else has happened and it sets you back a bit. But no, that's the good thing about James. And like, you know, he'll phone me if he wants to know about something, and we sort of help each other out. So that accountability partner is very important. Very important.
Hugely. Like it makes a massive difference when you've got somebody there cheering you on, pushing you when you don't feel like doing it, but you know you should be doing it. And yeah, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm really happy we do what we do, and it's fun. It's funny because Richard, if I've like ever want to moan, Richard goes, "You're not allowed to moan. That's my job."
Yeah,
so.
Stop stealing my thunder. I'm the moaner.
But you're right, Mel. I think, and that could be a friend, that might be a relative, it might be a partner. I think that's very important when you're working for yourself to still have someone to help you with your accountability, to kind of keep you focused. I'd say that's one thing that I'm very grateful that mine and Richard's friendship has there.
Yeah.
It, like, the amount of times, like, if I'm even trying to steal, like, Richard's like, no, you're not even allowed a day off, and you're like, as much as I push you, you do push me, and we're good for each other that way.
Even if I'm being lazy.
Nashville meetup, Nashville resellers meetup.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, everybody, go watch more of my YouTube videos.
Come on. We need the penny. We need more money. Well, I see Rachel's sub to you as well tonight. So if anyone else haven't, make sure you do. The links.
Oh, please do, definitely.
Rachel Strickland as well is a really good channel. We had Rachel on a few Saturdays ago.
I've seen the name. I've seen the name going around. I'll have to go and sub as
really good channel.
You'd like Rachel, Mel. Very, very positive people and go-getters. Both of you are very similar.
I think it was Rachel.
It's good to see some more women.
I think Rachel said you sound like Nicole Kidman.
Oh no, I'm not as proper as her.
Thank you. Just seeing if we've got any more questions. If you've got any more questions for Mel, just drop them in now. We're not going to keep Mel much longer because it's very early over there, and I'm sure she wants to have a nice chill out on her Sunday morning.
Definitely.
I need a stronger coffee.
Oh, I bet. Oh, well, listen, we appreciate it so much that you've come on with us.
Definitely, Mel. No, thank you so much.
Absolutely brilliant. I'm sure everyone's enjoyed this. Guys heading off. Oh, no, that's not good, James.
Good.
My brother's flying direct from Darwin, Australia to Heathrow in 2 weeks. 17-hour flight non-stop. First I heard of a direct flight. Cuts the journey way down if you're in the UK. Wow. Direct flight.
That's brilliant.
Sold my 1999 funky converted VW T4 this week. I would have done Mel a very nice deal on it, and she could have flipped it on her way out to Blighty. Nana was my great grandparents were first generation from Ireland.
Wow,
nice. Well,
so I thought that when we went to Bali and some of the islands like Lombok and stuff like that in Indonesia, I felt it was cheaper for me to buy a motorbike, use it, and then just give it away rather than the hiring charges. And we worked it out; it would have been cheaper by the time I finished with it. So next time I go out to Indonesia, because you can pretty much island hop and you can take your motorbike on the boats with you.
Oh, wow.
But saying that, I've got Holly with me next time, so maybe I think we probably still do the motorbiking, because literally you drive on pavements in Indonesia. It's like playing Grand Theft Auto. It's amazing.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, and India's amazing as well. India's like full on. There is no traffic lights or anything.
Yeah.
But like Bali as well, it's the same. There's this invisible. Everyone's there to look after each other and look out for each other. And when you're on the road, you just it just works. You can't explain it. Crazy, but it works.
Yeah, I've seen it. It looks crazy. I don't know if that's somewhere that I'd really want to travel to be honest. But I never wanted to. But it's a bit crazy for me, I think, there.
Oh yeah, 2 Aussie thrifters, Brad and Jazz. I think they're converting a van into a camper.
I think so. Yeah, they're going to travel around for about a year.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Right, guys, if you've not got any more questions for Mel, we're going to let her get off and either go back to bed and get some sleep.
I won't go back to bed. I'll probably drive down to McDonald's and get like a proper coffee.
Oh, yeah, lovely.
Everybody else will still be asleep in my house.
Oh, the queue will be nice and quiet. No, thank you very much, though, by the way, Mel. And thank you
for so much.
For even the quality of answers as well. Really appreciate that, because it's as much as we're asking for ourselves as much as everyone else is listening. There's people in the chat that have said that they're now going back into their listings. It's just good sometimes to almost ask the basic questions, because sometimes we overlook that. We can all of us can do that. We can almost run sometimes when actually just take a couple of steps back and let's walk again. And it's a game whereabouts we're all here to support each other. And what I love about it is there's so much customers out there that we can tell everyone pretty much everything, and it just won't make a difference. And anyone who thinks that's just crazy.
I think with eBay, you've got to remember it's not a race. You know, it's a slow journey, and it is like an up and down journey. And I think we got to remember that we're not in eBay. Like when we have a bad sales day, we got to remember that we're not just in eBay for that one day. We're there for the ride. We're there for the long term and the journey, and it all kind of evens out over the time. And we've got to roll with those down days as much as we get the up days. And the down and the up, it all kind of evens out in the middle. So we kind of got to remember that and just
it's a long journey. I've been on eBay since 2003.
Yeah,
and sort of on, not constant, on and off, on and off. Santa's. Have you seen Santa? Santa's amazing.
No.
Carolina Claus.
This is the real Santa.
I have seen him in Nick's chats in the chat with Nick's.
Yeah. Well, if you check out his Instagram, it's the Carolina Claus. He is the real Santa. He's an amazing guy. The biggest heart, and as far as I'm concerned, he is the man. Claus. He's saying, have you met Dave Jones from EE Blog? I think he's in Sydney, not a reseller, but a famous Australian.
No, I'll write his name down here. Hold on. Dave Jones. I'll look him up. EE Blog.
Yeah.
And what did you say? Carolina
Claus.
The Carolina Claus.
Okay.
Yeah.
His Instagram is absolutely amazing. He came on at Christmas
Day. We did a live.
Yeah, he's got the magic keys to get into anyone's house if they haven't got a fireplace. He's got a light up staff. Santa's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Right, so guys, we're going to wrap it up now. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks. You so much to Mel.
Thanks, Mel.
Thanks for having me.
I don't think anyone would have got me out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I'll try. I'll definitely try. I'm sure I'll try one.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. But thank you so much, guys. I hope you got as much out of this as we did. I know that I actually feel like listing now. I actually feel like listing.
Well, you know what? I have to list my 30 things today. So
there you go. So we're going to let you get on. But thank you so much, Mel.
I'll list my 30 and then my Sunday will be
breakfast. Done. Enjoy your McDonald's breakfast.
Yeah. Just coffee. No breakfast.
No, just coffee. Yeah. Eat clean. Yeah.
Eat clean. But, no McMuffins.
That's it. The health and the fitness.
The health first.
Thank you, guys. Hopefully now I want to make more content as well. So hopefully we'll get some content out. Mel's just had a video just go up. We've also got Cam and Bell are premiering at 10:15.
Yeah, so you've got time to watch Mel, then have some food, and then watch Tam and Bell.
And then watch Tam and Bell. There you go. That's your night sorted. That's your night sorted. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.
Same time next week.